What?
What?
What the hell is this?
Harumph. I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
Give the governor harumph.
Harumph!
You watch your ass.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Let the show begin.
Hey everybody, this is David Heretic coming at you with another edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. And tonight, okay, making their debut on the channel tonight, we have Kreator. Yes, indeed. How about that? Kreator making their debut on the channel. Before we go any further, for those of you who are feeling inclined to doing all of the clicks and the likes and the bibbidi-bobbidi bop, do me a favor, before you do all that stuff, please watch the whole video first, okay? Give me a chance to actually earn those clicks and likes. Now, after the video's done, you still feel like doing all those clicks and likes, then by all means, feel free to click away. This comes as a request from Ken Katash, and Ken wanted to see me react to this. It is Kreator with a tune called Hate Uber Alles. Now, have I heard this song before? No, I have not. To the best of my knowledge, this does not resonate with me in any way, shape, or form. However, there's always a possibility I may have heard this song in passing and I just don't realize it. So as always, if I start listening to the song and I suddenly go, wait a second, I recognize this song, I'll let you know.
That's the truth.
You know me, I'm going to be honest with you guys. Let's see, this was posted by Nuclear Blast Records, all right? And the video has 1.6 million views. It'll get you there. Other than that, there's really nothing else left to say. Link to the original video will be down below in the video description for your viewing pleasure at your leisure. Let's get started. What do you say? Are you ready? Are you ready? Because here we go. All right, here we go. Kreator Hate Uber Alles. I'm probably butchering that now that I think about it, but I'm just reading it as it states. All right, let's do this.
All right, boy, let's do this.
Right there. Stand on it.
They shall flee.
Looks like we got a guitar solo. Let me back up. Okay. It's fast. Yeah. And look, there's no denying that. They're definitely going at a fast tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's been 4/4 the whole time, which I got absolutely no problem with. I mean, it's very straight ahead. I'm not going to say that's super impressive, but I mean, it's solid. It's absolutely solid. They have played around with feel quite a bit. I was really curious before we went into that breakdown section after the second chorus. Up to that point, we did not have straight time at all. It was either double time or it was half time. It was the two extremes. And what I thought was really interesting is when they did the double time, it was always on the verses. So the verses have all been in that double time feel, but the drummer has switched between having the snares on the downbeats and having the snare hits on the upbeats. So sometimes he's got the snare on 1, 2, 3, and 4, and other times he's got the snare hits on the and on the upbeats. And he's switching between the two very fluidly. I almost missed it. And then when they go into the chorus, they go into halftime feel. Snare on 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I like that part. That's my favorite part so far is the chorus. And a good chunk of why it's my favorite part is because we go into that halftime feel. The straight time usage came after the second chorus. We went into that little breakdown section before we started the guitar solo. That was all straight time. Snare on 2 and 4. I like that too. I do enjoy that part as well, but not as much as I'm enjoying the chorus. The chorus definitely is, at least in my opinion, I think the chorus is, without question, I think it's the hook. And listen, everyone's going to have a different opinion of, what hooks them. I'm sure there are going to be people who are going to be hooked by, the verses. And there's going to be people who are going to be hooked by the breakdown section. And I'm sure, depending on how great the guitar solo is, there's going to be people who think that the guitar solo is the hook. I mean, everyone's going to have different thoughts on that. And that's okay. There's no, this is not a dictatorship. They're not going to sit here, the band's not going to sit there and tell their fans and tell the listeners, this is the hook. You have to like this part because this is the way that we wrote it. We intended for this to be the hook. Well, listen, you can intend all you want, but that doesn't mean it's going to happen, with everybody. Everyone's going to have different flavors. Everyone's going to have different appreciations for different flavors. So, instrumentally, everything sounds clean. Everything sounds good. It's fast. Like I said, it's a fast tempo song, but they're playing it cleanly. They're playing it tightly. So I got no issues with it. Vocals are being done well as well. So I have no complaints. I have no complaints about this. Let's see what's happening with this guitar solo, shall we? Favorite part. That was actually my very first time ever listening to Kreator, believe it or not. I've never listened to these guys. I've heard of them. I've heard of this band. I've seen their name around quite a bit, but I've never given them a listen. And I don't know. I think the jury's out for right now as far as whether I like them or not. I think I'll have to listen to more of them before I make that call. But as far as first impressions go, they could do worse. They could do worse. Let me get my thoughts together. I'll see you in the review, and we'll talk about it. Well, there you go, folks. That was Kreator with Hate Uber Alles. I'm probably butchering that, but I'm reading it as it states. So we're just gonna go with that, and I'm sure people will correct me in the comments, and that's fine. I have no problem with that. This was a request from Can Katash. Okay. Like I said, I've seen this band around. I've seen this name pop up a number of times in various ways. So I knew of this band's existence, and I know they're not like a brand new band. They've been around for a little bit. I even though I've seen the name pop up, I've never listened to these guys before. This was my very first song from Kreator that I've ever heard. And I gotta say, as far as first impressions go, they could do worse. They could do a lot worse. I wasn't blown away by it, but at the same time, I did enjoy it. I absolutely did. I had a good time listening to it, and I would vastly be willing to listen to more from these guys. I didn't look to see in the queue if there are any more requests from them. There might be. Really quick. Let me just check and see if there's any more requests for these guys. Let's see. Nope, there's no more requests for these guys in the queue. That was the only one. So I'll tell you what, folks. I'll give you a few months if you guys want to make more requests for these guys. Head over to the Patreon page. Make the request the way that you need to. I would actually be willing to give these guys another shot without question. Now, if nobody requests these guys and a few months go by and there's no effort being made to make more requests for me to react to, then I'm just going to do a deep dive on my own, and I'll just go check them out, in my own free time. But I'm sure that it could make for some good reactions, but if no one requests them, then I get to do it by myself. As far as this song goes, like I said, first impression, they could have done worse. They could have done a lot worse. So let's get to the score, and you'll see what I'm talking about here. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm gonna give that an 8.2. Yep, 8.2. I feel good about that score. Let me tell you why.
Why?
Okay, first things first, an 8.2, what does that mean? Well, an 8.2 would translate to a great skill rating because overall, I think this was a great song. It would also equate out to 4 to 5 stars and an A- letter grade. Yeah, an A-. So there you go, an 8.2, great skill rating, 4 to 5 stars, and an A- letter grade. Now, how did I come up with that score? Haha! So glad you asked. Okay, it's fast. It's definitely fast. That they were not playing around with that tempo, boy. They were really pushing the tempo, and which I can absolutely appreciate. I kind of have to be in the mood to listen to a song like this. Like I can't just put this on anytime, or a song like this anytime, and be able to really appreciate it and really enjoy it. I gotta be in the mood, but if the mood strikes me, yeah, absolutely, I'm gonna remember this song. the energy and the drive were absolutely there through every single phrase of the song. I love the fact that they did play around with feel. They didn't play around with time signature at all. It was 4/4 the entire time, but they did play around with feel quite a bit, but never too short. And that's something I really want to compliment them on. They understand how to take feel, change feel, but not change it so fast and so rapidly that you don't give the listeners a chance to find the new feel, adjust to the new feel, and enjoy the groove. So like, for example, they're here, on the verse, and they're going at a double time feel, right? Now, when they go into the chorus, they switch gears and they switch to a halftime feel. But when they do that, they stay there for a while. They stay there for at least 8 measures. At least. I think it was longer than that. No, it might have just been 8 measures. But even still, 8 measures, plenty of time. Plenty of time. It's not like they were switching feel every 2 measures. That would be way too short, especially at this tempo. But they did switch between straight time feel. They did work the straight time in there, which I was really happy about. After the second chorus, before the guitar solo, they were able to work that straight time feel in. The halftime feel on the choruses, that was my favorite part. I thought that was the most, I think it was the most effective part of the entire song. It was definitely the hook. At least for me, it was. I know not everybody is gonna feel the same, but for me, the hook was the chorus. And then on the verses, utilizing the double time feel. When they did utilize the double time feel, they had the 2 different variations. They had the snare on the downbeats on 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4, and they also had it on the upbeats as well. And that was really well done. When he would switch, when the drummer would switch up, it was smooth. It was really smooth. Gotta give him credit for that, because not every drummer can make it sound that smooth. I've heard drummers do it before, but there have been a few drummers that when they do switch up, you can hear the switch up. You absolutely can. It's noticeable right from the get-go. I didn't notice it at first with this one. They were able to transition very smoothly between the two. The guitar solos I thought were nice. There was some great harmonization happening in there towards the end with those arpeggiations. It sounded good. It sounded tight. No, it was a very well done solo. It was how should I put this? It was technical enough to keep me engaged, but not so overly technical that I got frustrated or I got lost. No, it was a nice balance, really nice balance. Vocally, okay, I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't the biggest fan of the vocal style. I think the vocal style was a little over the top, but I think what he sang, and more importantly how he sang it, I think it was appropriate for the song. I think it fit the mood and the context of the song. I don't think it was so far out into left field and so out of context that it, wrecked anything. Me personally, I just wasn't the biggest fan of, like, when he would go up in the upper register. I was like, nah, sounds a little cheese to me. But it was still well done, though. It was cleanly done. Now look, overall, I think it's a good song. I take that back. I don't think it's a good song. I think it's a great song. Like I said, I gotta be in the mood to listen to something like this, but when the mood hits, oh yeah, I'm gonna remember this and I'm gonna put it on for sure. So 8.2, yeah, I feel good about that score, and that's where we're gonna stay. So let's wrap everything up here in a nice shiny bow, shall we? We have an 8.2, which is a great skill rating, 4 to 5 stars, and an A- letter grade. Take your pick, I don't care, whichever one of those floats your boat. Final word, final score, I have spoken. Well, that's gonna do it for this edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Hopefully I was able to entertain you. If I was able to put a smile on your face and brighten your day, then I did my job, and I'm so glad I could do it. If you guys feel like joining the fan base, go ahead and click on that button down there. If you guys want to like the video, go ahead and like the video. If you guys want to ring the bell, go ahead and ring the bell. It honestly doesn't make any difference at all to me, but if you guys feel like doing these things, well then by all means, feel free to do so. Well, that's going to do it for the night, folks. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, this is David Heretic signing off, reminding you to stay fabulous and support each other. Later. Peace.